Military parades are supposed to run without a pause. Soldiers march in rhythm, the band plays, families cheer. Nothing breaks the flow. But on this day, everything stopped, not because of the soldiers, but because of a child standing in the crowd. The parade had started perfectly. Boots struck the pavement in unison, flags waved, and the crowd clapped proudly. Among them was a boy, no older than 10. He stood quietly, holding his mother's hand. But what caught a decorated officer's eye was not the child's silence. It was a mark on his arm. The officer slowed down. At first, he thought it was just a childish scribble, but the closer he looked, the more his heart pounded. It wasn't random. It was exact. It was a tattoo. Not just any tattoo, but the very same symbol once worn by a soldier who had fallen years earlier. A soldier the officer had known. A soldier he had lost. He froze. The line behind him faltered. The band stumbled to a stop. Confusion rippled through the crowd. The officer stepped out of formation, walking straight to the boy. Kneeling down, he pointed at the tattoo. His voice trembled. "Where did you get that?" The boy hesitated, glancing at his mother. Then he answered softly, "It was my dad's. Mom let me get it. So I'd never forget him." The words cut deep. The officer knew instantly. The boy's father had been his comrade, a man who gave everything on a mission that few would ever speak about. A man who had died so his brothers could live. The crowd quieted. Families leaned in. Soldiers shifted uneasily, sensing the weight of the moment. The officer's voice cracked. "Your father was a hero. He saved my life." The boy swallowed hard. "Mom said he didn't come home because he stayed behind." The officer nodded. "She's right." By now, even the commanding general had stepped forward. The officer explained, pointing to the tattoo, that the boy's father had been one of their own. The general's face softened. He turned to his troops. "Then today," he declared, "the parade pauses for him." At once, hundreds of soldiers snapped to attention, every arm raised in salute, all eyes on the boy. The child stood frozen, unsure of what to do. His mother whispered, "Salute back, just like your father would." The boy straightened his back, lifted his hand, and returned the salute. It wasn't perfect, but it was strong. Tears welled in the eyes of men and women who had faced combat without flinching. This moment was heavier than any battle. The general stepped forward, removing his own patch from his uniform. He handed it to the boy. "Keep this. It belongs to men like your father. Now it belongs to you." The boy held it tightly, as if it was the most valuable thing in the world. In truth, it was. The parade resumed, but something had changed. Every step carried more weight, every salute more meaning. They were marching for him, for the fallen, for the families, for the ones whose legacy lived on. That day, the parade became more than a ceremony. It became a reminder that sacrifice doesn't fade and memory doesn't die. A tattoo on a child's arm had carried a message powerful enough to stop hundreds of soldiers in their tracks. Because sometimes the smallest mark tells the biggest story.